black love movies are not black love. That's not black love. That's trifling. And that's hoism.
Girl, you make me go so loco, loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it yes, is it no?
I'd already recorded this, but like I want to re-record it. Obviously, hey, welcome back to the Awkward Sexy, blah, 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 blah. If you, spoiler alert, you should know that you clicked on this. But let me start with my initial thoughts. Initially, going into it, I was pretty nervous because anytime they revamp a TV show, a movie, especially if it's years later, I think everybody has the same sentiment of, ooh, please don't mess this up, please. I think everybody has that same kind of like, I don't think anybody as a viewer is sitting back like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I think maybe they are, but there's also still that nervous energy. Now, after watching it, I think that they did very well. I heard rumors that they're not gonna come back with a season 2. I definitely think that they should, but we'll get into that. So premise, the best man is essentially it's mainly surrounding Harper, don't remember his last name, and sorry. And he wrote a book based on his college experience, which included him having sex with his best friend's ex-girlfriend and having a fling with another girl named Jordan. The best friend is Lance, the ex-girlfriend is Mia. Lance and Mia end up getting married, and then it all goes to shit when they find out that this book, Lance essentially finds out that this book is about him having sex with the woman that he's about to marry, which is Mia. So, and he never told him that until this book. And he also dedicated the book to them, which is so weird because if somebody had sex with my wife to be, and then they dedicated the book to us,
that's weird.
This entire time, Harper is dating Sanaa Lathan, and in the movie, her name is Robin, and she really takes him seriously. She's loyal. She's like the perfect girlfriend. She's loyal. She listens to him. She supports his dreams, everything. But when he goes to the bachelor party weekend to hang out with Lance and Murch and Quentin, Jordan is there, which is the lady that he never dated, but like the sexual tension was always there in their friendship. And then she wants to fuck him.
I said I love you.
Yeah, we all know what happens. Harper, he ends up getting his ass beat. He doesn't end up even fucking Jordan because he showed up after he got his ass beat. And then he said, what the fuck is that smell? And she, boop.
Thank you. And what the fuck is that smell? Woo!
Y'all had all of college up until however many years later, at least 10 years later to do this, but we're gonna get into that. Second movie, fast forward, Mia, she's passing away from cancer quickly, and that's essentially the premise of the movie. Aside from, once again, Harper, he's writing a book about Lance, and essentially in every single thing, like in the series and even in the movies, he's asking his friends for a favor as far as his dreams and his like things that are related to his bag and him getting his bag, even if it's at the hands of their own trauma. Moving on, so in the series, let's just start off from the beginning, and we're gonna smash the first 2 episodes together because I remember it was mostly about Quentin and he's getting married. This is several years later. Shelby, she's trying to break up Quentin's engagement, and he's getting engaged to this woman named Xiomara, who is also Nicole Ari Parker. Gorgeous, and has always been stunning, okay? Oh, Lord. So she's trying to break that up by fucking him as soon as she arrives. Mind you, she was not invited to this destination wedding, but she showed up anyway to argue with him, not really proclaim her love, just like make sure that he doesn't get married, because she doesn't tell him that she loves him. Like, she doesn't make this like grand gesture like Harper did after he just cheated on Robin by proposing in the middle of somebody else's wedding. Like, she didn't do that. She just argued with him, gave him a lap dance, rode his dick, and then he fell in love and decided to leave Xiomara. And then after he married Shelby on the same day that he was supposed to marry Xiomara, they tell I think her name is Kennedy. They tell Kennedy, and she's probably like 10 and so sweet. She was sweet in the second one and sweet up until this moment. Like, after this moment, she was just, I don't understand what they did with her character. Why did they do this? But they tell her that, you know, Quentin's really your dad. They didn't show that, but it's alluded. Fast forward, however many years later, Robin is married to Harper, and even in the first and second episode, like, you can see that they have different values till the end. I'm gonna save them until the end because I want to really unpack their dynamic. So let's start with Murch and Candace, and they really have probably the most stable dynamic. Candace is actively in school. I'm not sure if she's teaching or if she's just a student, but she's doing this research as far as holistic medicine for children. They didn't really go into it, which was kind of annoying because they alluded to it being THC and or CBD related in microdosing when it comes to children, but they did not really go into it aside from when her daughter was having an anxiety attack. They decided to leave because she was fine. And then they come home and both of the kids are high out their mind. She was having conflicts with a professor who was constantly shutting down, was constantly shutting down her proposals when it came to, this research paper. They didn't really go into what exactly it was for, like if it was for an assignment or if she was trying to like enter some contest or something. Like, they didn't really, unless I missed it, but they didn't really say specifically what this paper was for. But she was having a lot of issues with her first advisor, and her advisor constantly shutting her down when it came to this research. And so she switched over to a male advisor. Now with Murch, let me say this really quick. I really feel like I feel like if they don't do a season 2, they're really dropping the ball when it comes to Murch and Candace's relationship, because their storyline, gems, literal gems, especially Murch's storyline. Real quick, Harper, they're turning Unfinished Business, which was the book from the first movie, That Foolishness, into a movie. So it's bringing back some old feelings in Murch about him being weak and a punk and feeling demasculated emasculated. Did I say demasculated? Child. Girl, grab a dictionary, boo. But he's feeling emasculated. Like, those feelings are coming up again because in the book he was with Shelby, and with Shelby he was pretty much like a yes man, which I do want to say Murch is a hoe too, just like everybody else. Shelby a hoe because, like, girl, like, this dude is literally about to get married. Quentin's a hoe because you're literally about to get married and like you're fucking another bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's in the name of love. Like, break up with them and then do that shit. Like, I'm sorry, but let me just say this, and y'all are probably gonna hate me for it, but like, these black love movies are not black love. It's always about like, oh, like, it's black love. I'm with somebody, they're loyal, they're this, they're that, but I'm gonna cheat on them with my actual childhood, like, friend love. Like, that's not black love. That's trifling, and that's hoism. Sorry, that's trifling and that's hoism. I don't care. I don't care what y'all say. I can't even think of one black love movie that doesn't involve like some sort of infidelity to find love. If you know one, drop it in the comments. They're turning Unfinished Business into a movie, and it's really like eating away at Murch because in the trailer of the movie, again, he's like a yes man, and in the movie he is a yes man, and that's making him feel some sort of way because all his friends And obviously this movie that's about to be shown to millions of people, it's going to be highlighting that like you're a punk and you can't stand up for yourself. And in the first one, he didn't stand up for himself. He just cheated on Shelby and got with Candace, which I don't know why nobody wants to talk about that, because Murch was trifling for that too. Like, I don't think there was a moment. There was a moment like when he wanted to go to the bachelor party.
Shelby who?
But like when he like stood up to Shelby, but like he never put Shelby in her place. Like he never was like, stop talking to me crazy. I'm not gonna come home at 9 o'clock. I'll be home at 9:15. Not saying that he needed to be aggressive, but like he never asserted his dominance with Shelby, which allowed her to walk all over him. And it's not okay to walk all over somebody, but like in life, sorry, little life lesson, and what I've learned recently, it's like you really need to demand respect, and then after you demand it, if they continue to disrespect you, okay, all hands off. Murch, I really think he had a great storyline as far as him doing MMA fighting in order to try to find like what masculinity is. So moving on, Candace, she's dealing with this advisor, this new advisor now. And also, I forgot to say, the advisor, he ends up sexually assaulting her when, like, after she asked for his help. She doesn't tell Murch for some time. She actually doesn't tell him. She is typing it out because she saw a notification that her advisor, and he's like he's a professor, a doctor or something, I don't know. He's getting awarded, and she got like a notification on like the news. And she felt compelled to write about her experience, and she showed Murch like that, like, yeah, he sexually assaulted me in the office. Like she showed it on her computer, and he was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Like, because they had him in her house, like they invited him over for like whatever. And I feel like I really want them to unpack that, like her not telling Murch. And I really want I really wish they do a season 2. I really want them to do a season 2 because I really want them to unpack that, because they rushed the last episode to like her on like Time magazine, like, oh, the women who spoke out. But it's like, okay, what happened to the professor? What happened? Did Murch beat his ass? Because like I said, Murch, he's on this whole finding his masculinity journey. I really want them to like go into Murch and Candace's dynamic after she was sexually assaulted. Like, how was their sex life? They weren't really having sex like that because they're both busy, but like, did their sex life increase? Is she having like any anxieties? Did Murch beat his ass? Like, he's on this masculinity journey and you had this dude up in your house. I don't give a fuck if he's a professor or not. So let's move on to Lance. I think again, they pretty much dropped the ball with Lance as well. It was still good. But I feel like they kind of were like, okay, let's hurry up with him. Like, they didn't really highlight him, and which was pretty unfortunate, I guess. I feel like Lance is the more, I know the storyline with his son was probably triggering for a lot of people, but as far as his overall morals when it came to his friends, I feel like he was the most like morally sound and morally rounded throughout the first movie, second movie, and the series. The only thing immoral, I guess, not that people need to be perfect, but like, I think the only bad thing that he really did was cheat on Mia, but that was before they were married. That was in their college years, which is why she turned around and was getting back shots from Harper.
You fucked Mia.
Maybe it was just me, but my first time was not that great. And for several women, the first time is not that great. Like, it may be sweet, but it doesn't like feel good. Sis was getting her back blown and was just mind blown, just fireworks. Like, it was just amazing. Like, she had never had it good like that, but she's had it before. I see you, Mia. Okay, girl. She got the sauce, okay? Anyway, moving on. So Lance, I feel like he was the the character who was throughout the series and throughout the franchise, he was just more morally sound than everybody else. I wish they really unpacked him being hypersexual after Mia passed away. But they kind of just like ended it when he met I forgot her name, but the Jamaican woman, really pretty woman, by the way. What is her name? I don't remember. I keep wanting to say Grace, but I don't think it's Grace. But yeah, he met her and basically stopped fucking other people, which was kind of like, they kind of just dropped it. And I thought that would be really important to see, like when you break up with someone, when you go through trauma, when somebody passes away, like your partner, like your way of mourning may be hypersexual activity. So I really wish that they like unpack that or showed some like therapy sessions or something, instead of, oh, I'm hypersexual because I'm like going through trauma. I literally watched the love of my life die. She brought me closer to God. Like, she was literally everything that I ever asked for and prayed for. I watched her slowly pass away, and now my way of dealing with it is having sex with anything and everything. Oh, then I fell in love with somebody. Like, it was just random. Yeah, like I said, I feel like they didn't really show much of him. His storyline was mostly his son. They are non-binary, and he is hyper religious and like, this is my son, you're a he, you're a he, you're a he. And it was just this back and forth till they ran away, and then Lance was able to see the light and then became accepting. So I don't know, it was kind of a predictable storyline. So I watched the footage back a little bit. I kind of skimmed through it because I didn't want to watch it all. But really quick, if I didn't really unpack Shelby and Quentin, I don't feel like there was much to unpack. Their relationship did kind of confuse me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the first one, Shelby, she's dating Murch. The second one, she still clearly has a thing for Murch, to the point where you allowed Murch, Murch allowed his ex to have something over his wife, to the point where like they ended up going to physical blows.
Lonely, miserable bitch! It's called fucking alimony!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
So it's like Shelby has clearly still had this thing of wanting things she can't have, or just having Murch. And then of course we know that like Shelby has Quentin's baby, but like she didn't tell him for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, like it was just weird that all of a sudden she's in love with Quentin.
The love of her life.
My very unpopular opinion, and I don't know if I have been saying, oh, this is an unpopular opinion. I've just been talking just from my mind, but I'm gonna say it's an unpopular opinion. Robin is not the fucking villain. I'm sorry. Like, and maybe it's because like after watching it, like I really relate to Robin. I really could have been Robin in this last relationship. I literally could have been Robin, but Robin is not the villain. I'm sorry. But let me backtrack, okay? Let's go back to the first movie and then we'll go into the second movie. So first movie, as I said, Robin, she's been loyal. She really wants, like, she's dating, I wanted to call him Quincy, Harper. She's dating Harper. She really wants him to like, you know, take their relationship like super seriously, as she does, and wants him to like be in love with her. You can tell he's apprehensive, but like she's still loyal, and you know, maybe he's scared or whatever. She's, you know, giving him benefit of the doubt. He ends up cheating with Jordan. I don't give a fuck if they fucked. They made plans on fucking.
You don't live enough for today.
Harper tells Robin. Robin is still cool. They get married. Let me say this really quick. I'm sorry, but like, I don't want a proposal at somebody's wedding, let alone you literally have a black eye. Or like my engagement story to my kids to be like, yep, and my wife or mommy, she She proposed to me on the dance floor at Uncle blah blah blah's wedding, and yeah, mommy had a black eye and a busted lip. Like, no, like that's not, no. And especially given the circumstances that he just cheated on you the day before, she never should have married him in the first place. That is the thing that I'm gonna hold Robin accountable for, because you never should have married this selfish, raggedy man in the first place. Yes, he is smart. Yes, he is successful. Yes, he has potential to be like a great, like he's telling you that he wants to be a family man, whatever. He's telling you that, like, you know, oh, my relationship with my friend is just friendship. Child, we all heard that one before. So now I feel like everything is like all has been festering for all these years for Robin, and now it's all coming out, even with their daughter being named Mia. And I know somebody is gonna have a problem with this one. I don't care. There is no fucking way. I'm sorry. I get that she passed away. I get that she had cancer. I get it. I get it. But there is no fucking way that I'm going to name my first child and your first child after a bit, not a bitch, but after a woman that you fucked. Dead or alive, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care though. Like, I'm not really sorry. I don't care. I'm not wrong. I don't care. Moving on. So Robin is in a space where she really wants to, you know, she's not in a place where Harper is, where Harper, he just wants success. Like, that's all he wants, is to be successful, and he wants to live in this brownstone, and he wants to be around successful people. Like, she's not in that space. Like, she wants to be successful, but not in like I need to reach the tip top of like my field. Like, she's not on that, which I can totally relate to as far as their relationship. Like, I can relate to their whole relationship, honestly. Not the kid thing, like, because that would just never be okay with me. But like, as far as you're with someone and they are just like, be successful. I want peace. Oh, I want to be successful. Oh, we need to live here. We need to live in the best neighborhood, which you should. But like, we need to be at the tip top. We need to be the best. Like, we need to, like, she wasn't on that. Like, she was really on some peaceful shit. Like, she was really on this, I'm trying to find myself. I found myself in serving my community. You found yourself in just serving yourself. And that's cool. But like, I need you to at least try to accommodate me in your dreams. Like, we're literally a family. Harper just pissed me off, child. He pissed me off. I never liked Harper as a character. I really don't like Taye Diggs. Okay, I like Taye Diggs. He seems very funny online, but like, his character roles when it comes to relationships, Brown Sugar, I could not stand Taye Diggs. I didn't like Sanaa Lathan either. Like, girl, I did not like Taye Diggs in Brown Sugar. I did not like Taye Diggs in any of the Best Man franchise. Like, I did not like him. He was just so selfish. And I felt like Robin was the type of person who was going to be very accommodating in the hopes that like, you are going to see how loyal I am. You're going to see how much our family loves you, and you're going to reciprocate that in some way instead of solely focusing on yourself. And there's nothing wrong with having selfish moments. Like, Robin has definitely had her selfish moments, like wanting to buy the restaurant and things like that. But again, it's like, she's always been like ride or die for him. So it's like, why can't you be ride or die for me? Like, at least a little bit. Like, a little bit? Really? Like, come on. So she actively had her job and her dreams and everything right here, and he wanted to just randomly up and move. She wasn't going for that, but she ended up reading, which I missed this part. I just watched it. I just watched the series back like a few moments before I filmed this. But she was reading an excerpt because they wanted, of course, they're doing a film, but they also want him to like start prepping for like his next book or next movie. So he was writing about how he wants to keep this woman safe in his heart. He didn't write who it was, but she's reading it and she's thinking that it's her. So, and this is after she gets arrested during like a protest, and that gives him even more ammunition to want to move, but she's still like, I'm for my people, like, and you're just for yourself. Like, no. But then she reads a little excerpt about him wanting to like keep this woman safe in his heart and safe in his mind and, you know, whatever. And she's like, oh my God, he's talking about me. And yeah, baby, we can move to the brownstone. And then they ended up moving. Also, one thing I noticed is that like, has anybody else gotten paid for Unfinished Business? Like the book or the movie? Like, has Shelby, Quentin, Merch, Lance, have they ever been given a check? Like, at all? Like, even if it's just from, like... I got a notification that says that I'm due for a love letter. Okay. Yeah, so I'm wondering if anybody has ever gotten like any accommodations or any sort of like reimbursement for like their trauma being like raised to the surface multiple times. Like, it's just nonstop. Like, he just keeps Harper is just the only one profiting off of their fucking trauma and whatever. Like, Merch, he's literally having anxiety and doing MMA fighting to prove that he isn't a punk ass bitch like Harper wrote in his book. But whatever. I get opposites attract, but like, one thing I learned in my own life is somebody who's selfish being with somebody who's like extremely giving, extremely patient. And of course, everybody has their selfish moments, but like, what I mean selfish, like, you did not think of me at all. Somebody who is selfish and somebody who's super giving and like super patient and like literally loyal to you as fuck, it's not gonna work. Harper and Jordan, they have this bonding moment of him reading the reviews and they hate the movie, and she's like, oh, just scream F you to all the haters, blah, 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 whatever. They go back to her place. They end up looking at some nostalgic ass shit and they end up making out. Fast forward. He is like, I think I mixed it up, but like, he was like, oh, I'm gonna visit y'all in August. And she's like, I just asked for one thing. So she's over it. She is like, I can't do this, I need a divorce. And this is where the unpopular opinion comes in, because I said that Robin is not the villain, but like, people were saying that Robin, hold on. So she's like, I want a divorce. Okay, boom. Because like, homie, he couldn't even sit at the table. He could not even sit at the table without picking up his phone. And mind you, family dinners are probably like 30 minutes. You can't be off the phone for 30 minutes. Like, I get like emergency calls, but there's a redial. There's a redial button. Like, you can call somebody back. There's nothing that your manager or whatever needs you to do right this second to the point where it's taking you away from your family. Like, you can't sit down without your phone for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. The fact that you miss multiple dinners and you come home late multiple times, and then he also cheated with Jordan again, which, let me say this. I know I said that like Robin shouldn't have married Harper, and she shouldn't have, but like, Robin girl. Oh, also, and he was writing about it. Again, like I said, he was writing and she thought it was about her, but then he continued writing and she realized that he was actually writing about Jordan, and she read it and was like, oh my God, you're writing about Jordan. Robin girl, why didn't you beat her ass? I'm sorry, like, not beat her ass, but like, Robin never stood up for herself. Like, even though Candace and Shelby, they fought in the second one, Candace was still standing up for herself. Like, she was still like, you keep disrespecting, like, you not even like just disrespecting my relationship, like, you're disrespecting me, and that's a problem. Robin girl, you keep letting Jordan play in your face. Chat, let me calm down. I think that Robin, and like myself, Robin is like one of those people who like lets it like build up until she's fucking done. Like until she's done, like, and it's so anyway, she asked for a divorce. She ends up saying that I want full custody of her and I'm gonna take her to Ghana. So this is why people said that she's the villain. They were saying that she's the villain because, oh, she's bitter that, like, you know, Harper is selfish and she's taking the baby away to Ghana. Which, let's be real, you guys. I get it how some people could be like, oh, that's bitter baby mom behavior. I don't think so. And the reason is Harper was not an active parent. He was just a provider. He wasn't actively parenting her. Like, he wasn't actively parenting baby Mia. He wasn't. Like, and you saw it when baby Mia, she had like, was going out with Harper and she had the lunch and she saw the homeless guy and like she gave him the food and Harper's like, what are you doing? Like, that's our food. And she's like, no, but like we have more food at home. And he was like, oh my gosh, like he's selfish. He's selfish. Like, why would you question anybody about giving food to a homeless person? He hasn't ever like sat down and actively and like participated in a family meal. Like, he hasn't done the bare minimum. That's why I say I don't think that she's bitter. Even, let's be real, even if Robin moved down the street, he probably still wouldn't be seeing baby Mia like that anyway. Let's just be real. He wasn't seeing her when they all lived together. So why would he even be seeing her like if they divorced and like she moved even up the street? Let's talk about it. Let's be honest with ourselves now. I honestly think a lot of people give Harper a pass because he's like successful and intellectual. And of course he's the main character. So of course we're gonna give him a pass. But I'm not about to give him a pass. Like, I think that people need to be realistic. If baby Mia stayed in the United States, and even if they lived up the street, he probably would keep that child with the nanny the majority of the time. If they had like 50-50 custody. All right, so let's start with Kennedy. So we were first introduced to Kennedy in the second one.
Mommy,
What?
are you okay?
Kennedy, little brown curly hair girl, really sweet, which I thought was really important because it showed, it gave Shelby a softness, because usually she's a very hard external character. But like her daughter is like the opposite of her. She's very sweet, very, oh, like everything's gonna be okay, mommy. Like, she's really like the opposite of Shelby. After Quentin and Shelby tell Kennedy what happened, like as far as I'm your dad, then fast forward years later, and then Kennedy is just a raging bitch. I'm so sorry. Like, not the person playing her, but the character. It was just a complete 180 from the Kennedy that we saw in the second movie and even at the beginning parts of the first few episodes of the series. It was just a weird transition and I did not understand it. Maybe if they went into it, and also they completely changed the character, which was really unnecessary. They made her extremely fair skinned, light eyes, and it was just like, who is this? It was clearly an attempt to make her look more like Quentin, but it's like that brown girl could have easily been their daughter as well. Like, I don't understand why they decided to switch and go extremely lighter, green eyes. Like, it just didn't make sense. And the character didn't make sense either, because we all saw Kennedy as this really sweet little girl. When we saw her, she was super sweet and the opposite of her mom. And now she's worse than her mom. Like, she's rude for no reason. I felt like she was a bully. They didn't really go into it, but she definitely peer pressured LJ, which is Lance's son. She definitely peer pressured him to post that video, in my opinion. Like, on the New Year's party when he's when they post the video in the wig. Before that, Kennedy is like, sucks we can't post it. Like it was giving, you need to post this, like not like in a like, oh, if you post it I support you kind of way, but in a you're weak if you don't do it kind of way. And I didn't like that at all. Maybe that was intentional for the writers, maybe not, I don't know. But also, I also feel like she's a bully because Candace and Murch's daughter was having a full-blown anxiety attack before even going to the New Year's party because everybody was invited, including the kids. And Candace and Murch, their older daughter, was having like an anxiety attack about like, oh, Kennedy, like she's so like condescending and like she's always like super fashionista, like I need to look great, I need to look perfect, I need to like, she was having like a full-blown panic attack. And it was like, what the fuck has Kennedy done or said to the other kids in the group to make this girl have a whole anxiety attack? So if they did a season 2 or 3, I would love them to really go into that, because she's not just gonna have an anxiety attack over like nothing. She specifically had it over Kennedy. You can tell that like you can tell that LJ is like cool with just everybody. Like they're just cool. But I really want them to unpack Keisha and Kelly's relationship with Kennedy. The other children of Lance's, like, I know they had 4 kids and they briefly showed the youngest 2, but they barely showed the oldest daughter, and she was not a good actress as far as like crying. I wish they, like when she cried about like breaking the mom's like ornament, I wasn't moved. I wish I was more moved. So maybe it wasn't her, maybe it was me. Overall, it was really good. I was pleasantly surprised. I really hope that they come back for a second season. I think the timing of putting it out was like really great. A lot of people have been looking for like a good series that we can binge watch and that we can like have good, healthy dialect about. And I think that this show really did bring that. I just really hope they come back for a season 2. So you guys have heard my critiques, and that's really the end of this video. I liked talking about it. I really did. I liked talking about it. So I'll probably come back and do like a review on like other Black love shows, movies. I'm gonna do soul food and brown sugar. I love soul food. I love talking about soul food. That's such a good movie to talk about, but we'll get there. And then maybe we'll circle back and do Best Man 1 and 2. So yep, that's the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. It is a little lengthy, but it's a review. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope you all have a really good New Year and clean up and whatever else you all do for the New Year. Eat peas or whatever. I don't know what y'all do, but I'm about to go. I'm already behind. I need to finish getting ready for this little party, and I will see you all in the next one.